All right, so we are live. And so Jasmine, also I forgot to mention when we start, this program, I should say when it's over, it'll be available on rebroadcast. So you can actually post it on all your channels. I
Okay.
always like to give a few minutes for people to join in before we start. So um, we could start in about a few minutes. So as you guys are coming in, whoever's watching, I see we got one. Let us know where you're watching from, your name, and we'd love to greet you and welcome you to tonight's stream. So the topic is a good one. And I know it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to be watching on the playback and enjoying and sharing with others. So as you don't be shy as you're coming in to our live, we haven't started yet. We're going to give a few, maybe just a couple minutes for more people to join. But we do want to know who you are, who's watching, what's your name, where are you from? All right. And then we'll be introducing our guest presenter for the night. All right. Let me just open up my channel.
Tanya from Richmond, Virginia. Welcome, Tanya.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining. We got one, Tanya from Richmond, Virginia. Yes. All right. So you guys just let us know where you're watching from. All right, let's see. And one thing I should do too, Jasmine, is pull out. I know you sent me the questions that people posed, so I'm gonna make sure I have them in front of me too. And I think the best way to do it is, you could read the questions and the answers. So you go question and answer. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do that, and then I'll jump into where I can. All right, Jane, thanks for tuning in from Oklahoma. Awesome.
Welcome, Jane.
You're welcome, Jane. We're not going to be too long. I think we'll try to keep it short and sweet, but this is something that I know can be very helpful for a lot of us struggling with attaining our weight goals, our health goals. So the way we're gonna set this up, we're gonna have the questions that have been posed to us in the past. But feel free, guys, if you have questions while you're watching, to put them in the chat. And there's no such thing as a stupid question. That's what the teacher said, right?
Right.
So, Jasmine, just to start off, can you tell us, where what got you started in the health coaching ministry that you're doing now?
Okay. Initially, I was going to be going into business coaching, but
Mhm.
then I thought about health coaching and how much I love health and wellness and fitness. So I decided to go that route. And during my training, I realized that I was pre-diabetic.
Wow. Okay.
And probably was for a while and did not know. Well, my doctor gave me a clean bill of health. 3 months later, I looked at my numbers and it was pre-diabetic, but
Mhm.
apparently it wasn't type 2 full blown, so she thought it was okay.
Mhm.
And then sometime later, not too long later, my cousin lost her eyesight. She went blind, a single mom at 40. And it was like right after that, I've just started meeting lots of people with the same issue. They have type 2 or pre-diabetes, and they think it's a death sentence. They don't think it can be reversed. And I decided, you know what? I need to be part of the solution.
Mm.
I need to help educate women that this is reversible. It's a lifestyle issue.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's why I'm in this business. And I don't really brand myself as a weight loss coach. I'm really a pre-diabetes reversal coach, but in a high percentage of the cases, weight loss is required.
Yes. Yes. And what's nice is I'm sure the method that you use to help your clients um, is also good for weight loss, right?
Absolutely.
I'm not diabetic, but I really have been struggling with losing weight. Can you help? And I'm sure that's something that, falls right in line, with their goals too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's interesting you said that, that's crazy. So someone who had lost their vision at 40,
40.
no pun intended, opened your eyes, right? You're like, wow,
Oh,
I
yeah.
need to
Yeah.
change. And sometimes it's the negative things that God allows, or the things we look at as bad, God turns around for good, right? And now
Absolutely.
you got a health coaching business. Your Facebook group is exploded and exploding, right?
I
And
guess that people love the topic, weight loss tips for pre-diabetic women.
yeah, yes. So guys,
It's a great group. It really is.
it is, and anyone watching, please watch to the end because Jasmine is going to tell you how you could join that group and be a part of and actually work with her in her coaching program. So definitely going to watch it to the end, and you'll get that plug in. Now, one thing you have as what I really love it, those who enter your group, they have an opportunity to ask questions,
Yes.
right? And the questions vary. And of course, it's a great chance for you to connect with them, but also to answer something that's been pressing on their minds. So tonight, I would like for you to share some of those questions that you've got from the women in your group, and that I know a lot of viewers might have those same questions and the answers that you provide them.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the questions I get quite a bit is, I have lack of motivation. My question to them is, what's your biggest struggle with reversing prediabetes? And this person wrote, lack of motivation to stay active and to do exercise.
Mm.
And that's a little puzzling because so my recommendation would be know your why. Why are you wanting to get healthier?
Okay.
Know your why, and I help people with that. And also recognize that 80% of losing weight is nutrition.
I can't just exercise it away.
No.
I want to change
80% is nutrition.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't really start my clients on exercise immediately because I want to go slowly. Some of them want to go slowly. If you have people change your diet right away, change your mindset, start sleeping right, manage stress, exercise is overwhelming.
It is.
So we start with mindset and nutrition.
Nutrition, yeah.
So that's just recognize that 80% is nutrition, not exercise. But also,
sorry. Finish your thought, and there's something that just came to my mind like a light bulb. So go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say, if the client is insulin resistant, they have insulin resistance, then it's really exercise becomes crucially important. So I'll get them started a little earlier than just weight loss.
Yeah.
But exercise should be fun. There's some kind of movement that everybody likes. It could be dancing, going for a walk, swimming. So just find what you love and just start with 5 minutes a day.
Yes.
That's what I typically recommend for someone who does not like exercise. Start 5 minutes a day. Okay. Get a workout buddy or get an accountability partner, but start somewhere. I mean, there's so many benefits to exercise. It's not just for weight loss or to build muscles or reverse your insulin resistance. It's fun. It can be fun.
Yes, and it should.
Go ahead with your thought.
Yeah, and I just love that you mentioned that exercise can't be divorced from nutrition, because I remember looking at all how it just takes one snack to outdo a whole hour of working out, right? And so it's almost like redundant. You go running for a mile and you eat a bag of chips and you just put all those calories back.
Exactly.
It's yeah. So you can't divorce. So exercise is key, but nutrition doesn't replace it.
Exactly.
Or the lack of good nutrition doesn't replace that. And I like that you said that you need to have goals, a strong why. In my experience too, my patients, the ones who are successful in reaching their goals, whether it be diabetes, coming off blood pressure medicines, it's because they had a strong why. A lot of times it's somebody who died in their family, and they want to make sure that they were alive to see their kids and grandkids. Having a strong why is going to be the make it or break it. If you don't have a strong reason why, you're probably not. And then always, I think, bring that why before you. Remind yourself of why you're going through this change.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Do you have any recommendations for how to, keep that? It's easy to say, okay, this is my why, but do you have any recommendations of kind of keeping that motivation strong every day?
Well, what I've done with some of my clients, they do a visualization exercise every morning.
Okay.
And I recommend 30 days. And they revisit their why. They create a vision for themselves. They know what their values are, and they have like that on a sheet of paper. And so they do that every morning. And at the end of the day, there are some reflection questions that we work on together. And they ask themselves those questions. It's kind of like self-coaching during the week,
Yeah.
because we normally meet once per week. So I want to keep them energized and intentional and focused all week long.
Mhm.
So they have that morning routine, they have that evening routine, and their why is always present with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
that's something.
there's a way to go through that. And maybe on another live, we can kind of go through a why with someone, maybe a demonstration,
Yeah.
because people say, why? What does that mean? What's that all about?
Mhm.
It's having leverage, a strong reason why you want to get healthy.
Yeah.
For some, it may be, I want to fit in my skinny jeans for summer. That's not strong enough. And when you see that donut or that slice of cake, it's not strong enough to prevent you from eating it.
Yeah. You're as strong as your why. Uh,
Yes.
and you're right. I think it's something that we could have a live just on that. That's huge. It is huge.
Mhm.
So guys, write down your reasons and remind yourself every day of those strong ones. Write them down and put them somewhere you can see them every day, so that you can continue in those hard days. So what was the next question you got?
Portion control. Some lady said, I have no portion control. And so my suggestion would be is recognize what one serving is, because
Mm,
sometimes we don't know. Have you ever looked at a box of cereal? And when you look at the serving size, it's you typically eat 3, 4 times the amount.
yeah.
Because I find that one of the biggest reasons for being
Are you talking about
overweight,
me?
one of the biggest reasons for being overweight is we overeat.
Mm, mhm.
And we overeat for several reasons. We don't know what a serving is. We overeat because we're distracted. We're reading, we're on the phone, we're on Facebook, and we're just eating. We're not being mindful when we eat.
Mhm, mhm.
And we eat too fast.
Yep.
So portion size, and there are lots of tools for that. Typically, I don't start a client out with tracking,
Mhm.
but eventually we get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are many tools that people can use to learn what a portion size is and
Yeah.
start being mindful of that.
There's a what comes to mind now is the mind plate idea.
Yes.
How to that if you look online, look up my plate. There's images on how what you should portion your plate. It might
Mhm.
be a good guide for people who are visual.
I was going to bring that, and there's a gadget that's really cool. It's called My Portion Plate,
Mhm.
and you decide what you want your weight to be, and you spin it, and you put it on your plate, and you put your food in the containers in the sections. You pull
Yeah,
it up, and that's it. So
that's
easy.
interesting.
You
Okay,
don't.
what's it called?
It's My Portion Plate. I'll send you the link.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, my portion plate. Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that a lot for clients.
First, I want to Joanne. We got to greet you. Thanks for joining. So yes, that the portion control I think is a big problem. I think people don't realize that you're going to eat what's on if you put a lot of food on your plate, you're going to eat a lot of food.
Exactly. The other thing too is to use a smaller plate. Did you know that the plates have gotten much larger over the years?
Okay. Okay.
So use a smaller plate as well.
Yep. Yep.
All right, jumping to another question. Quite a few ladies said their challenges is eating sugar.
Mhm.
And so my suggestion is what's triggering that? Start being more aware, being self-aware. What is trigger? What time of the day do you feel like having something sweet? What's going on? Are you stressed?
Mhm.
Because quick story, I once had a snack problem. And if I started to be more self-aware of why, and I realized it was every time a certain friend called me, I would find myself getting up from my desk and going into the refrigerator. Why? Because she always has a lot of issues, and she was stressing me out. So the
Mm.
phone rings, I see her name, I would get up and go get snacks. I don't do that anymore, but I used
Good
to do
for
that.
her.
So be aware of what's triggering you to go get a snack or a sugary treat. And then I recommend that people build what I call a nourishment menu.
Okay.
So your go-to, for example, on your nourishment menu, it could be go for a walk. It could be call a friend. It could be say a prayer, listen to a song,
Mm,
get a music on YouTube and start dancing in your office. Do something.
yes.
Just change your pattern because most times it is because of stress.
Mm, mm,
And then I, ask them to ask themselves this question. Okay, I want to eat a slice of cake. Is this action going to take me further away from my goals? Of course, the answer is going to be yes. The next question is, am I okay with doing that?
mm.
And if you're continually okay with doing that, then your goal is out of alignment. You need a coach to help you with your mindset.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it actually reminds me of the 10-10-10 rule. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
No.
So it's a simple like thought exercise on any decision or behavior that you're trying to make or change. So you ask yourself 3 questions. How will this behavior activity affect me in the next 10 seconds? You know,
10
how
seconds.
will this, how will this behavior then affect me in the next 10 months if I continue it, right?
I
And
love that.
how will this behavior affect me in the next 10 years if I continue on that? So it's funny because a lot of things that are really good for the next 10 seconds, it's going to taste real good. But if I continue this habit, what's going to happen in the next 10 months? My A1C is elevated,
Exactly.
right? My A1C is elevated. Next 10 years, my leg is amputated.
Yes,
Now, is that snack still as sweet? It probably, you know.
not as sweet. You're
Yes.
right. You're
10
right.
processes is to take you from the immediate satisfaction to the reality that your choices will affect you in the long run. We don't think about that in the moment.
Exactly.
Gwen is sharing some good thoughts here. She says that she uses the clock, the clock plate method. So that's an awesome thing to do. Kind of to keep the portion that we were just talking about, keeping portion
Mhm.
sizes small. She says, "I'm very guilty of snacking. I'm very easily bored." Oh yeah, who boredom eats? Yeah, I know that's me. It's just so fun to eat. So I snack when I have boring, tedious tasks to do. I think Joanne, you're not alone there. As she continues to write, I literally had to do that, asking myself the other day, I was going to add butter to my veggies and said, "No, Joe, you know you have to get the cholesterol down. Stop it." Yeah, sometimes you just
I
got
love that. Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
you have to talk to yourself. And then we got a comment here. Hold on, let me scroll up here from Tanya. Uh, are raisins bad for you when you have diabetes? So that's a good question. So
Yes, I'll answer that in a second, or you can.
mhm.
Back to the sugar.
Yeah, okay.
Something I recommend is that they swap. If you want something sweet, you don't have to go for cake or cookies or donuts. You can have a fruit.
Yeah, yeah,
And I also recommend that they can make their own desserts with monk fruit sugar or stevia.
yeah, yeah.
Now, I do not recommend raisins because that's dried fruit. What do you think, Lois?
So raisins, I would put in the yellow. You think of
Red, green, and yellow.
the red, green, and yellow. And that's something. It's a popular method of thinking of food. You got your green foods you could eat all day, any time of the day, almost without limits. Then you got
Mhm.
your yellow foods, which they're not green because they are minimally processed or high in fat.
Think of
Raisins,
the traffic light.
yeah,
Follow
yeah.
being slow, right?
Slow down. So raisins are okay, but you wouldn't want to eat it 3 times a day, right? It wouldn't be your go-to meal once a day, or if you're eating it more than once a day, small portions. Raisins are okay, are a good treat, just like other dried foods can be. Just make sure you're not having added sugar, right? Because the problem is a lot of these dried fruits that have added sugar to them. So
Right.
yeah, yeah.
If she's using that as a snack,
Mhm.
standalone snack, I would say no, no. But if
Yeah,
she's putting it in like her oatmeal,
yeah,
then a small amount in moderation and not every day. There are so many other better things to put in your oatmeal than raisins.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I hope that answers your question, Tanya. Someone asked if are we in Africa? Probably the picture behind me. Is that
No, we're in
Canal?
the US.
Yeah, Canal? No, we're not. No, we're in the U.S.
Okay, another question is not knowing exactly what to eat and when to eat. And I like the balanced plate method. I recommend that half your plate should be vegetables.
Mhm.
A quarter should be your starchy carbs, slow carbs, healthy carbs, complex carbs.
Mhm.
And then the other quarter, your lean protein.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think if people eat that way, you don't have to count everything and track everything. When you hit a plateau, then tracking may become more necessary. But initially, we just go with the balanced plate method. It's
Yeah.
less stressful, less time consuming.
Mhm. Nice. Mhm.
And I don't believe in perfection because nobody's perfect. So if a client says, Jasmine, I'm going out or the family's coming over and we're going to have pizza.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Then there's a way to eat that and not feel guilty.
Mhm.
And I suggest the flexible plate method. So go ahead with half your plate veggies
Yeah.
and then a quarter your protein. And then the carb section, that's going to be your pizza. And just eat that slowly, enjoy it, and eat your vegetables first, your protein second, and your carbs last.
Yeah. Then that's a good thing about eating whole foods as your primary the bulk of your meal, because those wholesome greens, wholesome carbs are going to slow down some of the and crowd out the unhealthy ones, kind of
Right.
slow down the digestion. So that's good. That's some good advice. Yeah. Really, very good advice. Yeah, Tanya, I heard you're addicted to oatmeal. Me too. I love me some oatmeal.
Which one is your favorite? What oatmeal do you have?
I use steel cut when I
Steel
can,
cut.
but right now I'm using rolled oats.
Okay.
For my diabetics, so I usually recommend steel cut.
My favorite is oat ropes.
Oat oats, yeah.
Mhm.
That'll be the supreme for sure. Yeah,
It has lots of fiber, 8 grams of fiber, 8 grams of protein per serving.
yeah. So
So that's my favorite. And we have one other question. This woman, she says exercise. She has a bad knee.
hmm,
So exercise is a challenge for her.
yeah.
And I haven't spoken to her, so I don't know if her knees are bad because she has a lot of weight on them, or she's injured, or it's inflammation. I'm not sure what it is. But if I couldn't walk, I could still exercise with my hands. I could still lift weights. Can I not?
Yeah. That's
And
true. There's always something you can do.
just start out slowly.
Mhm.
Like I said before, 5 minutes a day, and then every day add a minute to it, and you'll get there.
Okay. Yeah.
What suggestions would you have, Lois, for someone with a bad knee?
So before I give my suggestion, I want to make sure we acknowledge some comments here. So Joanne says that she likes dates and figs in place of sugar. That's awesome. Dates and figs are a great sweet alternative, and that's another thing to approach your sweet tooth. Try to find healthier alternatives.
Mhm.
Dates and figs; those are good. And raisins, things that are sweet but not as highly processed in the red zone of the traffic light. Okay. Um, Joanne asked a question about steel cut oats. That's interesting. Can you put it in a blender to grind it? I'm sure you can, but it kind of would defeat the purpose in my mind because of using steel cut oats. The reason why people would use steel cut oats instead of rolled oats or quick oats because they want to have less chance of a glucose spike, a blood
Mhm.
sugar spike, and the more intact that grain is, steel cut versus rolled, oat groats versus steel cut, right? The more intact you get on that, then less likely you're going to have a spike in your blood sugar. So,
Right.
of course, if you're a person you're eating rolled oats and your blood sugar doesn't spike, eat your rolled oats, right? But if you're finding that your blood sugar spikes, try oat groats instead or steel
Mhm.
cut oats, right? So,
And I would suggest that someone who wants to blend it,
mhm,
have it not blended first,
mhm.
test your blood sugar, see what it is, like an hour after you finish, and then put it in the blender the next day and see the difference.
Yeah.
And then that will answer the question.
Especially for diabetes, trial and error is good.
Yes.
I get that. I get question about injuries all the time. See, if it's not the knee, it's the shoulder or it's the back. That's preventing people from working out or going to the gym. And my answer is the same to you. There's more than one way to exercise, right?
Mhm.
There's so much you can do. of course, listen to your body. If it hurts, don't do it, and stick with exercises you can do. Don't let one limitation cause your whole body to suffer, right?
Right.
Another advice I give too is to find ways you can exercise, incorporate more physical activity in your whole day.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of times we think of exercise as that thing I do once or twice or 3 times a week, and then you sit down on your 9 to 5 or 8 hours on your butt, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
drive home and sit on the couch, So all those opportunities that are missed throughout the week, instead of looking for the closest parking lot to the grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
furthest parking spot. You ever thought of that? What
Exactly.
I thought about that, I was like, I'm sure I have enough time to walk across this parking lot. Say like I know we're all
Yes.
for time, but
I've
I'm
been doing
sure,
that for years.
say take the farthest parking spot, free workout
Mm-hmm.
right there, right? I'm gonna walk.
Right.
Walking where you can taking the stairs instead of taking the elevator.
If
Try.
you work in an office,
Mhm.
go to the bathroom on another floor and take the stairs to get there.
Yes, yeah. You should be thinking all day, how much can I make whatever activity I'm doing either harder or more intense, right?
Right.
Get your workout in all day. Find ways you can exercise all day.
Mm-hmm.
And studies
Negotiate.
have
Yeah.
shown weight loss is much more likely if you're moving all day instead of this, once or twice a week.
Exactly. You're working out, you don't even realize it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I recommend that people talk to your boss, let them know what you're trying to do and negotiate to go for a walk 15 minutes in the morning, 10 or 15 minutes. And then you do that at lunchtime, even if you have to come in 10 minutes early.
Yes.
Just find different ways
Yes.
to walk
Yes.
because walking 3 times a day for 10 minutes is not as strenuous as or time consuming as just finding 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And it's more likely you'll be consistent with it, right? If
Right.
it's not as cumbersome. But Joanne says that's an excellent suggestion you gave about trying without processing first. Um,
Okay.
and then next question, do you have suggestions for when you have pain and you think if you get up and move, this is going to hurt a lot in about 2 hours? So I guess the anticipation of pain,
Uh,
don't do it. Then you find yourself fighting within. Right. So any suggestions, any thoughts on that? It's a good question.
just manage your thoughts. If you think you're going to have pain, you probably will.
Yeah.
But just do the best you can. Sit on the couch, put in a video, and just move your feet and use your hands. Get some resistant bands or some light weights, and just exercise while sitting.
Yeah.
And if you dial in on your nutrition, who knows? Maybe the pain will go away.
Oh, yeah,
Because
absolutely.
I've had clients say that, the pain in my knee's gone.
Yep. That's huge, huge, huge,
Yep.
huge. That's
So
why
have
I like that you started with the diet being part of it. People.
80%.
Yeah. Yeah.
80%. I think we may have time for one last question. This person wanted to know some healthy ways to lose weight and maintain it. So
Mm.
here's my suggestion is to focus on this as a long-term lifestyle change. There are people who they took 10 to 20 years to gain the weight, and then they want to get rid of it in a few weeks. It doesn't work that way. And if you do get rid of it in a few weeks,
Probably gonna get it back.
it's not sustainable, and you probably have lost some muscle during that process, and it's going to come back. It will come back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So look at it as a lifelong lifestyle change.
Yeah. Yeah. I call it the health journey, right?
Yes,
Not
definitely.
not just the destination you arrive to.
Definitely. And
So
we talked about the plate method. Just, I recommend 3 meals a day, no snacking, and it's very possible. Most times people are thinking, oh, there's no way I can do that. But when they eat a balanced meal and fiber rich,
yes,
it is so possible.
absolutely.
Very possible.
Especially when you have I say more wholesome foods, filling foods. It's you find the need to snack less often. So
Exactly.
you're finding yourself the desiring snacks, you got to look at what you're eating in your meals. Are they really in the green zone that we talk about? And so,
Exactly. Yes. Hey,
Jasmine,
Louis,
yeah, go ahead.
are we going to end here? Next
Well,
time we can talk about the weight loss drug.
oh, yeah, that's right. Well, we weight loss drugs. That's a huge one. I wanted to keep this live short as to 30 minutes. So I think this is a good time.
Yes, next time.
Yeah. So what I would like for you to do is let us know how we can reach you. Let us know how those who want to work with you or get to know your method and approach. Join your Facebook group. How can we get in touch with you?
Well, they can find me on Facebook, Jasmine Hastings Carter. That's on my public profile.
Okay, let me
So
see. Let me actually type it out so everyone can see it. Jasmine Hastings Carter.
And they can send me a direct message from there.
On Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook. And almost everybody has Facebook. So, and you're the only one on there, right? Because
yes,
a lot of times someone might have a similar name. I think your name is quite unique. So,
yes. And it's a hyphen, so they can find me easily. And if not, they can find you and you know where I am.
That's right.
I do have a group. If you're a woman over 40,
yes,
looking for weight loss tips, reverse pre-diabetes, you can reach out and come into my group.
Yes, that's right. Oh yeah, Joanne, for sure, we'll join you in a weight loss drugs that deserves a panel.
Yes.
All right, so and if anybody watching this now live on the playback, I do want to let you know or remind you, Lauren from Florida, thanks for joining. Remind you that next week, May 13th to May 17th, Monday to Friday, is our workout challenge. Okay, we got a chance to be rewarded for our hard work. All right, there are going to be 3 prizes. First place prize will be a Fitbit. Okay, second place prize will be a book on building lean muscle and losing fat. And then the third prize will be a fun T-shirt. So we got prizes as motivation to join. The steps will be simple. Join the Diabetes 180 group if you're not already a part of it. If you are a part of it, it's simple as posting a selfie of your workout. Okay, and you get every selfie gets a raffle ticket in the hat to win a prize. All right. So
sounds exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting, man. So I'll remind everybody again next week as we do lives every week. But Diabetes 180, and I'll just put there. And so just, it's the letter 180, 180 to find more instructions if you're interested in joining that challenge next week, May 13th to May 17th. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining in tonight.
Thank you.
Yes. And Jasmine, this won't be the last time we meet together and kind of help teach the people.
Sounds good.
All right.